Good morning, wherever you are. If you're in California, it's probably still early. If you are on the East Coast, you're thinking about lunchtime already. Glad you joined us. We're going to spend about 45 minutes to an hour and just dive in here. I have no idea how many are going to join us, but those of you that are here, some of you are on Facebook, some of you are on YouTube, some of you are on Zoom. And we'll take just a minute if you want to invite anybody to join us to wake up the algorithm, just to kind of wake up the social media world. I'll give you a minute to do that, okay? So think of somebody that you'd like to invite. Hey, Guy Deboo, it is early out there in California. Guy is my partner in crime. I think we're kind of wired the same. We just get up and seize the day, and obstacles become things to have victories over, instead of becoming things that are in our way. But invite who you want to invite, because we're going to start here in just a minute, and this will be on the website recorded. If you didn't get to do the Power Hour now and you're joining us on the recording, awesome. You can do the exact same thing. It's going to be a little different today. We're going to talk a little bit more about gratitude, and it's just kind of that time of year. So let's see if we can jump in and focus in on that for a little bit. All right. So we're going to do Q&A at the end today. So let me scoot over. You only had half my head in the picture. If you want to ask me questions, we're going to do a little bit of live Q&A at the end. We might jump in and do a little bit of live Q&A in the middle of this, but mostly at the end. So that's coming at the end. That's why we do one of these per month live, and the others we do not live. And if you want to be a part of the Q&A, you got to be on Zoom. Facebook and YouTube, you're welcome to listen and comment, but you can't be on the Q&A, okay? All right, let's talk first. As you jump in here with us, I'm trying to manage letting people in the Zoom room too. I want us to first, I do this every time first, and it may seem like, what's the right word? Not a waste of time, it's like a redundancy. Our business is all about the people, the relationships, the conversations that you have with others. And I don't think, we can do this enough. I think every single time that you work on that list, that you work on just something front and center of people you can call and reach out to. I'll give you an example. If you're an NMD and you're listening to this, you just got in your email yesterday, you got a list of cancel customers that you can reach out to because the company's doing a win back campaign. If you're not an NMD, you can reach out to your upline NMD and they can give you a list of the cancel customers since January 2024 that are eligible to get 25% off if they come back. That should be a part of your list. You should work that into. Yes, you have a memory jogger, but that list should be evolving and working and be a workable list for you. So right now, that should be a new and additional list for you. Hey, Guy, is it okay if I make you a co-host just for now? And if you see anybody, I'm going to let you help me add people if they want to join. So I just made Colonel Deboo a co-host. So I want you to make sure that your list, it's not just your memory jogger, although that's super important. And there is, just so you'll know, you can go to makealife.com/memory jogger. I would encourage everybody to work on a new memory jogger list, but you can go get some training here on how to do it. But let's go back. I want you to be thinking about what kind of list do you have right now? Because we're gonna create a gratitude list here in a little bit. But I want you to work on your memory jogger. I want you to think about who can you bring into that win back campaign. If you're an NMD, you already have the list. Hopefully you're beginning to disseminate that list down to some of your team. because the company's giving 25% off. That's something you should add to your list. Do you have a super biome list? Have you kind of identified, highlighted whatever you're going to do with your list? Do you have some people you want to specifically talk to about super biome? Maybe you need to get them a sample. Maybe you need to get them a video. Lots of options. Do you have a list of people that you've identified that you're going to highlight in orange or yellow, a different color, that consume crazy amounts of energy drinks that aren't healthy for them? Maybe it's a college student that or a bunch of college kids that your kids are friends with or whatever, that they're up late at night procrastinating, waiting to take a test, and they need Luminate. There are all kind of lists you can make, but we're going to take the first part of this time together, and I want you to take the next 5 to 7 minutes. I'm going to put a timer up here, and I want you to work on your list for a minute, okay? We're not going to take action on it yet. I just want you to work on your list, and here we go, okay? Go. Those of you on Zoom, if you want to ask a question, you're welcome to ask one if you have something that's important you need to ask while we're working on our projects. Go ahead and unmute yourself and ask, and I'll try to answer it. But let's focus on the task at hand. Welcome, Robin, and welcome, Lisa and Danielle and Katrina. I can see some of you. I can't see all of you, but I'm glad you. Yes, somebody have a question?
I do. It's Lisa. I just returned from Mexico yesterday, and I met a few people. One person was on Wendy Campbell Tuesday, and she's interested in some stuff, but I asked her what other information she needed, but she said, I'll let you know. And I don't want to leave it at that because I know what that means.
Yeah. All right. Okay. All right. Let's hold that question till the end. Let's stay focused on the topic right in the minute. I'm happy to answer that, but I want everybody to be able to work on the component we're working on in the moment. The great question, Lisa, and we'll get to that at the end. But if you have a question about what we're working on right now, like a question about your list, you're welcome to. I don't want you to be stumped about your list, but if you've got a question about a prospect or how to follow up or something, we'll cover that at the end. Just some thoughts about your list as you're working on it. You may not have a good system. You may not have a good place where your list resides. That would be a good goal for you between now and the end of the year to decide what kind of system are you going to use. Are you going to keep it on a Google sheet, a spreadsheet? And Google's good because it's equally accessible from your computer, your iPad, or your phone. Are you a paper kind of person and you need to have a paper list in your journal or in your calendar or somewhere where you're writing it on paper? It's great. You just have to have a system. And you got to be able to trigger something to remind you to follow up. So you need some kind of system. And that website I was sharing with you, I'll put it back on the screen. No, I can't. I'll mess the timer up. But if you go to makealife.com/memory jogger, there are options there. There are printed memory joggers. There's a Google Sheet template. There are optional things you can do. Okay. But this first 7 minutes is just to get your list ready for what's next. Okay. I would love for you to be thinking about, I know Guy and Maria will know this term, but when I say dream team, I'd love for you to have a red star or something that you could put beside some names. These are people on your list that if like someone told me one time, if you were going to start a new company today, who are the 5 people you want that would be like the movers and shakers to go start this with you so you could make sure it was successful? Go in and star some people on your list that you need to proactively talk to about the business first. I think we forget about the business sometimes and we just get so enamored with our amazing product. But if the product's as good as it is, and the world needs our product, then you need an army to help you get it to them. You can't do it by yourself. Who are the 5 people that you want to be the generals of your army? Star them, and then as we get later into the morning, what you're going to want to do, they're the ones you're going to want to have on a 3-way call list with your upline, your mentor, your person that's experienced and successful in this business that can help you go to those people you want on your dream team. It can feel intimidating, but that's how you're going to grow your business significantly. You're going to recruit people that are a step up from you, not a step down. It's easy to talk to people that you feel like are socially or demographically or less business successful than you. But if you go after and recruit the more successful, that'll put your business in rocket mode. And I don't have a slide this time, but any of you that are with us on Facebook or YouTube, great. You can stay right there and I'll see your comments. But if you do want to join and interact and comment at the end, just go to makealife.com/power hour and you can join join us on Zoom, okay? Maria, every time I see something about Lane Kiffin and whether he's going to Ole Miss or Tennessee or what's going on, I think about you over there in Mississippi. There's got to be a lot of tension and stress about that over there. He seems like every time I turn on YouTube, he's popping up talking to somebody. All right, about 1 minute left. Finish up working on your list. We're going to jump in here and change topics here for a second. You guys ready? 30 seconds. I'll pause here at the end to make sure everybody's good and they have their list. And if anybody has a comment, Guy, Maria, anybody has a comment, y'all can jump in. I'll drag you over. But we'll move on to the next topic if nobody does, okay? All right. We'll take like a couple minutes. Does anybody have a comment or question about their list, how to make it, what kind of system they want to use to have their list? Anybody got a question about that? We can leave general questions till the end, but specifically about making your list. Anybody got any questions right now? Okay. Let's go to topic number 2, and that is calendaring your events. Now let's equip ourselves and get ready for this next section. So we just worked on our list, and maybe it's not perfect, but it should be in a whole lot better shape than it was when you started, and you can keep working on it. I want to do the same thing with your calendar here for just a minute, okay? I'd love to put in the comments. I'd love to know how many of you use a digital calendar, meaning on your phone, your iPad, a Google Calendar, and then how many of you use a paper calendar? So just put paper or digital in the chat, and I'd love to just hear. Okay, Lauren says she's digital. Guy's a few months older than me. Guy might use one of those slates or tablets from the old days. Katrina, she does both. Yeah, that was my hardest thing. When I did both, I don't know how you do it, Katrina, because that was my initial move into a digital calendar. I was like half paper, half calendar, half paper, half digital. And sometimes one was up to date and the other wasn't. But I mean, I admire people that can do both because I like having a presence on paper and digital. Robin says she does paper. Guy says he does both also. Okay. Um, so you need a system with this too. Everything we're talking about, and I'm thinking about. I'm not perfect at any of these things we're talking about, but everybody asked me. So in the new year, I'm thinking about doing a little bit of time where we can get on here and talk about technology tools and what we're all using to be more efficient. But calendars next. And I don't know how you do this, but let's talk about one thing. Maria says she's mostly paper. Okay. Y'all amaze me that you can do both. I mean, the only thing I do my Bible and my journal with my quiet time in paper. I really am almost everything else digital. I get mail and I throw it in the scanner and throw the paper away. So everybody's got their own system. It's not me telling you what's better or what's worse. It's just a matter that you have a system. That's the most important thing. And what I'm about to tell you is you've got to figure out how you're going to have, like, I guess I really have 3 or 4 different types of calendar events. I have just my Kurt@thebeavers.net, my Gmail, Google account, and every place my physical body has to be. Whether, like, I'm going to be at the Paget boot camp this weekend, that's on my Kurt@thebeavers.net calendar, and then I've got it in orange for travel. So that's how I do that one. When I've got to be somewhere and it's orange if it's out of town. But then I've got a family calendar that Lori and I schedule together. And then I've got a Juice Plus events calendar. And that calendar is, I put all the Juice Plus events down just so I know about them, but they don't make it over to my calendar unless I'm going to be there, you know? So what I want you to think about right now is however you're going to do it. I think this is really helpful at the beginning of the month, or as you find out about a new event that you add it. What I want you to do is I want you to have everything you can at your fingertips and your resources. Okay. Let me tell you what that means. When you're talking to a prospect, I want you to know and be aware of the wow is in the why. Wendy's call, when she's going to get on there and do, if you're not using Wendy's calls that she does, the wow is in the why calls, they're absolutely amazing. And I'll share with you really quick. If you go over to your boards, this is my boards on my computer. It looks a little different on your phone. It'd be taller and skinnier. But if you go to, I'm going to take you out of the Juice Plus board here, and we're going to go to the Campbell team board. And let me find it. Why have I got, there it is. And you want to go to events, and you can find out what's coming up, upcoming events. So there's like all of Wendy's, the wow is in the why events coming up. Okay. So I want you to make sure you know about that. So this is one place you want to make sure you go to find out where the next events are, what's happening, so that you'll just know. Okay. So all these events, you don't have to put all of them in your calendar necessarily. But I mean, I'd have a list or a calendar of events or something so I can know when. I mean, wouldn't it be cool if you had on your calendar, wow and the why, Wendy's doing it, wow and the why, Wendy's doing it, or Dr. Sears is speaking, or whatever. If you just made a note, not where, remember, this is not where your body physically has to be, but it's a resource for you so that when you're on the phone, when you're texting, when you're chatting, when you're posting, you don't have to go hunt down that event. And it's even more important as a leader that you become the hub that filters all this information. So you've got all those on the Campbell team. And, I just mentioned Wendy's because it's one of the better ones that we know consistently that's out there because she's amazing. There's one coming up, like, for example, this one. This is this the newest one? Yeah. On Saturday the 15th, there's a Rise and Thrive session, but that's not the one I was thinking of. Let's go back to the corporate calendar, and let's go what's hot, and let's go monthly corporate calls. So you need to know about these every single month. So the first icon here is the schedule of the calls. First Tuesday, second Thursday, third Thursday. Kickoff call explaining the strategy and plan for the month. Prospect call for all your prospects to learn about our amazing products. There will be a medical, healthcare, some kind of well-qualified speaker with a corporate speaker. For example, We've already had the one, I'm sorry, the one coming up. We had this right here, the kickoff call with Skylar and Beth Leopold. It was amazing. The prospect call is going to be with Dr. David Phillips, Harvard grad, triathlete, Ironman triathlete, sports medicine doctor, ER doctor, and Wendy McGlon. And then your training is going to be with Stacy Whitmer, and then with the number one customer getter every month in our company, Kelly Morgan. She's amazing, and she's going to teach and share. I mean, isn't it cool that she's going to share her secrets, what she does on social media to get all of her customers? So you should have all those things on your calendar. Does that make sense? So those are all on boards, okay? So I want us to get back to let me get back over here to the right camera and get us back in the right place. So we're going to be calendaring our events and talking about that for the next 5 to 7 minutes. Oh, somebody else is trying to get in. Guy, you're not helping me. You got to let these people in. I made you a co-host. Help me if they pop up. Um, so I want you to gather, spend the next few minutes. I want you to go to boards, the corporate board. I want you to go to Campbell Team boards. I want you to go to, if you need to, you can go to the Juice Plus official Facebook page. You can go to, let me see if I can pull this up for you. I'm not sure that I can. Let me just see if I can find it. I will. Hold on one second. You can also go to Voxer, okay? And on Voxer, there actually is, I'm gonna get you there 1 second. Just bear with me. There actually is an events chat. And if you are not, I'm going to put Guy and Maria probably on the spot here. But if you're not a part of this chat right here, the events chat on Voxer, you need to be, because all of the events that are constantly coming in are being updated and put in this chat also. There's an events chat. There's a field event flyers chat. And so there's lots of information. That's why I'm sharing this with you. There's information coming from a lot of different places, okay? And what I want you to know is I want you to know what all your options are. So we're going to take the next, I'll tell you these. There's Punta Cana. There's the leadership trip to Arizona coming up. There is our Phoenix conference in April coming up. All these things need to get on your calendar, okay? So I want you to get, in the next 5 to 7 minutes, I want you to get organized with all these events on your calendar. And you should be, while you're doing this, I want you to be thinking about the names, the list you're organizing. What events are you going, as you're looking at these events, what you should be triggering is when you find out about these events, it's, oh gosh, I got to invite Tom to this. I got to invite Sally to that. I'm going to this. I need to see if I pick her up and we get coffee on the way, they can go with me. Wendy's next wow is in the Y. You know, some of the, you need to look at them close, like the one you're seeing, the one you saw on the screen right there just a minute ago, that one, that happens to be a real in-person event at somebody's house. So make sure you're looking when you put the date down if it's a virtual or a live event, okay? So let's dive in here. Let's go to work. I want you to really work on your calendar. I want you to get the events in your calendar that are important so that you know about them. If you need to go to Facebook, Voxer, boards, do it. Get things on your calendar. Make a note of what's coming up that you want to plug into, okay? Here we go, 7 minutes. If you have a question about events, when we get done with this section, we'll dive into that, okay? As soon after this is over, we're going to be set up. We're going to dive into gratitude. Actually, I think I'm going to make this only 5 minutes because I want us to, whoops, didn't mean to do that. That didn't work. I think I can do something. Oh, here we go at the top. Keep working. I'm going to adjust the time here. You're focusing on your calendar. And I'm telling you, it's okay if we're uncovering some weaknesses for you, if we're uncovering uh, that you're not good at keeping up with a list, you need to come up with a system. That's a big success today. If you figured out that your calendar is chaos and you need to get your act together, more on paper, less on paper, more digital, whatever, it's okay if you've just discovered that. That's a victory that you've discovered something you need to clean up and straighten out. So don't be frustrated with that. Consider that a victory and let's solve it. Let's move forward and solve it. If you want to ask a question here at the end, I'll give you my opinion. Maybe Maria or Guy or somebody that's a leader in our company. I don't know who all's on here, um, or anybody on here that's like really good with their calendars. Katrina's on here. You can speak up and share that too. Okay. Okay. About 15 seconds. I want you guys to be ready to chime in here. I want about events. I want to hear about your calendar. I want to hear about how you're stumped and what you need to do to get better. The only dumb question is one you don't ask. But let's fix if you got a calendar or a maybe you have an issue calendar or an issue with your list. Let's talk about it. Let's fix it. Let's don't uncovering that is victory. Okay, it's not shame to say my list is chaos. I don't my calendar is just like all over the place. So right now is your chance. Who wants to ask a question, or maybe Guy or Maria or somebody has a comment about about one of these things. Anybody? Raise your hand. Let me know. We could keep going, but
Hey,
grab.
Kurt,
Yes.
this is Maria. I've
Hey,
been
Maria.
driving, so I couldn't really respond well, but um, I wanted to be on and listen, and now
Yeah.
I'm at a stopping spot. Um, I love to, I'm paper, like, mostly paper. So I print out um, the events that are going on the next week or two,
Yep.
and flip them over and then invite that way.
Yep.
Um, been doing that for a long time, and so it just works for me. Um, and I love that. But you were talking too about the Voxer events. I thought I was on it, but I can't find it.
Okay.
Um,
So
and so
you Voxer me, and I'll make sure I add you. Okay.
okay, great, great. Because if that sounds like that's a good place, just to, I mean, I go other places and find them, but
Yep.
that's
I mean
sounds good.
that what Maria just mentioned is really important, because if you're on here, I know you're probably not just brand new. You're leader or leader material, and if there's a weakness right now, we have so much information and it comes at us from different directions, and we got to filter through it. So like Maria, she's a national marketer. She needs to be in that list because her people are going to rely on her to kind of find the good stuff and pass it down so they don't have to do all that work. So that's important. All right. Good question. Anybody
Hey,
else?
Kurt.
Yep.
Kurt, quickly for me,
Yep.
what I have is that I have on my phone a picture file, if I can call it that way, just for flyers. So I grab the flyer from various sources, put it there,
Yep.
and then I have on my calendar, I put the event. Let's say your event, Wendy, whatever.
Yep.
And if I need to get the flyers very quickly, I just go to my file on my phone where I already save all those flyers. And then when those events are done, I delete it, and then I keep the next one and the next one. So it's very easy access, and I know what date and which state or whatever, and done and easy.
So how do you you talking about like an album in your phone, in your photos, or
Yep.
what's the
Yep.
how do you do it? Explain to everybody how you do it a little bit.
Yeah, so on your, I don't know about others, but it's on iPhone for everybody. You
Yep.
can create different album.
Yep.
And I have an album, for example, of Juice Plus information, Juice
Yep.
Plus in a different country, different language, let's say.
Yep.
So if I need something very quick, and then I have an album for flyers. And
Gotcha.
that's
That's
where I
good.
even have an album for flyers that I just to say my event that we host at home. So it's even quicker. So like that, I have, let's say maybe if I may use the word, maybe a little more anal, but that way it's very quick, all the different album, and you can in seconds I can find things and send to a prospect.
See, I mean, Guy just helped me because I kind of do the same thing that he does, but he helped me one more step. Mine, they're not as organized because I just copy all the flyers and put them in my photos. But you know how you get so many photos in there, they're like, you can't find anything. So that's really good. You need to create an album so that you put them all in one place, if they're not mixed in with just every picture you take from your phone. That's great. Anyway, one or two more comments or questions, and we're going to go to the main gratitude. Maria said that's what she does too. Okay.
I have a quick question.
Okay. Yep.
And that was great. Thank you for that, Guy, because I also put them just in my photos and I'm always scrambling. My question is like on the 13th with Dr. David Phillips, those are always for prospects, correct?
Yes. The call on the second Thursday is always a prospect call.
Second Thursday. Okay. And then, are those usually recorded? So where would I find those later if someone couldn't get on at that time? Is that
so they are always recorded, and I'm gonna they're always sent to the leadership on Voxer. Guy, do you know, do they also put the recordings on boards? Guy might know the answer to that. Do they, Guy?
On the hub, and they're
Okay.
supposed to put on the board, but I've not seen it.
Okay. So Lisa, who's your closest upline NMD?
Chris Reap, sorry.
Okay. Ask Chris if she would make sure that when those recordings come out, because I know it comes out in our NMD broadcast on Voxer. So, we'll have the call, and usually within, I would say, 36 to 48 hours, they're sending us a Voxer post with a link. And, what I'll do is I'll take that down as an NMD. I'll grab that and I'll put it into my open downline that I communicate with. And Chris should have that also for you. Okay.
Great,
Yep.
thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else? And let's move on to gratitude. We're ready to go?
I have
All
a
right.
question.
Yep.
Rise and Thrive, it says November 15th, Springfield. Is that Springfield, Missouri, Illinois?
Let me see
You
which
know?
flyer.
It's,
Wait, which flyer is that? The one on boards that we were looking at earlier?
yes,
Let me find it. It was
November
Campbell.
15th, and it's bright pink.
Yeah, hang on. I'm trying to. Oh, that was in Voxer on events, wasn't it? Where was that? No, where did we see that?
I'm on board
You're on boards. I'm pulling up.
in event.
In events under on Campbell team or on the company board.
Campbell team.
Okay, here it is, right here. This is in. Let me see. I can tell you who it is, but I know it. Brandon, Katie, Brandon. It's Missouri.
Okay.
Yep,
Thank you so much.
Right there in the description at the bottom, it says Nixa MO. So Nixa must be the smaller town. I think it's in the Springfield area, but the actual address is in Nixa. Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. Okay, we good? Let's move on to gratitude. This is going to be fun. It's a great, I mean, it's good for the power hour, but it's just a good time of year to be doing this kind of stuff. So let's go to here and let's go to gratitude. And I want to start with, the thing on the left is on my website, and it's the top 10 reasons I love the Juice Plus product. And then on the right from Wendy's board, that's Wendy's. A lot of us have done this, but that's Wendy's 30 reasons why she loves Juice Plus, her Juice Plus business. And it's wonderful. If you want to spend some of your time right now and working on writing those reasons down for you, those are just wonderful things to build your belief in your why. But I want to tell you, I want to give you an example. When I think about why I'm grateful for this business, one of the things I think about is, you all know that I've been in the business a long time. It'll be 39 years, November the 14th. And I'll be married 40 years this year. So it's like been a major part of our life. But I'm very grateful that when I was in the water filter business when we got started, I had to physically install and deliver and collect checks off of every customer. I'm very grateful that I don't have to touch the inventory anymore and that residual income just happens. I'm grateful that I was able to be with Jay Martin, because when the company, we've gone through hard times. When the company changed from water filters to Juice Plus, I had 3,000 water filter customers that all of a sudden I didn't get paid on anymore because we didn't sell that product anymore. But you go back, we followed Jay, we followed this company, and it was an amazing product, and we rebuilt, And so I'm grateful for all those opportunities that Jay Martin, our leader, that he built a stable and lasting company for us. So that's one thing that you can work on during your gratitude time right now. But here's the main thing I want you to do. And I've already started. This was something when I left Indianapolis and the super biome came out, and I was thinking about how many people needed it. I was thinking about how many people that really didn't know what was going on in the Juice Plus world that I hadn't talked to in a long time. Some were former customers. Well, a lot were just people in my life that were interested in Juice Plus, but they never signed up. They were just kind of hanging around. I see them at church or whatever. And so I began doing what Abby Nolan, one of our up-and-coming superstars, she'll be an NMD soon. You watch. She's close. She said she, as a busy mom, she sends tons of audio text messages. And, leaves them. So I'm trying to leave 10 audio text messages per day. And I've been doing that. And it's amazing the number of phone calls that they're stimulating, they're stirring up. And one of the things that it's doing is it's giving me an opportunity to leave a message for somebody instead of just typing it with my voice and hopefully a little bit of emotion and passion to tell them why they're a valuable relationship in my life and we need to connect. It's not just, hey, we need to get coffee. It's like, you're important to me. We never get to see each other. And I really would like for us to make a concerted effort to connect more, whatever you want to say. Okay. So the reason I'm telling you that is I want you to spend the next 7 minutes, and I'm going to give you the full 7 because I want you to do 2 things. I want you to work, if you want to work on top 10 reasons you're grateful for your health for the Juice Plus product, or you want to work on 30 reasons why you love the Juice Plus business, or one of those documents, or go read those on boards and really look at them. Or if you want to work on your list, I want to know, I'm trying to do 10 a day. You can do however many you want. You want to call 5 a day, you want to call 7, you want to call 10. These are leaving audio text messages. I don't want you to do it yet. I'm going to share something with you on the next. Well, you may go ahead and share this. We'll make this part of it too. So here's what I'm thinking about. So last year, we just gave you the text and said, text, 50 people, 20 people, let's get coffee, or basically, and see how many connections you can create out of that. But this year, I want you to do something audibly. Okay. I want you to leave them an audio message. Here's an example of what it might sound like.
Every minute we get to spend time together is such a blessing. I was thinking about how grateful I am to have you as a friend and how much better life would be if we could spend more time together. I know the holidays are busy, but let's start with something simple like coffee. I really appreciate you.
Okay, so I know that was a little bit robotic sounding. Yes, I just took the text and had ChatGPT generate that for you. But what I want you to do is I want you to work on, if you need to get yourself in a little bit of a spirit of gratitude, read these lists. They're on my website, makealife.com. The 30 reasons is on the Campbell team boards, under your why, your belief and your why section. Making that list yourself is something you ought to do over the next few days, over this month. But I really want you in the next 7 minutes. What's a good number, guys? Can you do 3 or 5? How many people could you send a message of gratitude for, and just think of somebody and say, oh, you know what? My neighbor, he's the nicest person in the world, and we never just stop to talk to each other. I'd love for him to be on Juice Plus one day, but even more important than that, I'd love for him to know that I appreciate him. So how many people, you just send a quick message to him. Hey, Randy, I know sometimes we just wave at each other because we're both busy, but I just want you to know, like, when I've been out of town and you've offered to, be there if Hope needed anything, I just want to know you're an amazing neighbor, and I want to be an amazing neighbor to you, and I appreciate you, and we just need to get some time together that's more than just a wave. Let's grab a cup of coffee soon. How many people could you do that to in the next 7 minutes? What's a good number? Maria Gee, is it 5? How many can you do? Can you do 5? All right, Lisa says 5. Everybody gonna do 5? All right, let's try and do something like this to 5 people in the next 7 minutes, okay? Here we go.
I got to run, but I wanted to thank y'all for this call today. So thank
you're
you
welcome.
all.
Oh, no problem. See
And
you,
I will
Katrina.
tell you, Kurt's right. Guys, I picked up the phone yesterday and I got 2 super bomb orders just by talking to a friend.
There you go.
So thank y'all.
Hey, Katrina, real quick before you
Yes,
leave.
sir.
When you call somebody, how did you go from conversation to sale? Just because you're really good at it.
So if y'all want to know my honest opinion, I'm totally different than my generation. I don't do audio text. I pick up the phone and call. Nobody takes phone calls anymore, and I have changed that. My friends know when I'm calling. One of my friends used to be like, oh my God, did someone die? You're calling me. And I'm like, no, I just want to ask you how you're doing. How is your day? I literally call my friends at least every other day. And you can ask Lauren, she's on my team, because I want to hear personally how you're doing. And so my friend and I were just talking, and she said something. I said, hey, do you remember how I used to always be bloated all the time, even after we ate? Like, I'd eat a salad, I'd be like, oh my gosh, I feel so bloated. This new Juice Plus product has changed my life. And she's like, what are you talking about? She's one of my childhood best friends who I thought looked at my Facebook. Obviously she didn't. And I post a lot. And she goes, my daughter's been suffering from constipation. Could that help her? I said, oh my gosh, yes. She ordered right then and there.
Yeah, there you go.
Someone I have been trying for 20 years to get on Juice Plus.
And all it took was just the phone and the conversation. Yep.
Yes. And I literally, It's just a friend like that. She lives 30 miles from here, but we have such a hard time getting together. And I literally just called to tell her hi.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, that's the same thing
but
I'm talking. I mean, I do think they need to hear your voice. That's why I've
yes,
shifted from, the project now is at least send an audio text. I still think the phone call is the best. But if you get a voicemail, I would not leave a message, and I would stop and send an audio text instead of leaving a voicemail.
same. I don't leave voicemails either,
Yeah.
guys, because I
Yeah.
don't listen to voicemails. I don't mean that rude. I
Yeah.
would do audio next. That's my next step. Phone
Yeah.
call, then audio.
All right.
And so, but
I-
since doing that, I've placed 4 super biomes already in the past
Awesome.
2 days.
All right, I know you got to
So,
go, but thanks for sharing
yes.
that. Okay.
Bye, guys.
Bye. All right. Keep working. Who are you grateful for, and how are you going to let them know it? About 3.5 more minutes. And Lisa, I see your hands up. So when the time's up, we'll pause for a minute and you can ask your question. Okay, we got about 1 minute left. This should not be the end of you doing this. You should focus on this for the month. I think this is something, it's not just a Thanksgiving November thing. I think if you took gratitude and made it your centerpiece of when you have conversations with people, gratitude is such a warm feeling. When people are grateful, you want to talk to them. I know people that have appreciation and gratitude towards me. It's a joy to connect with them. Okay. All right. I think Lisa has a question. You're muted, I think, Lisa. You may have to unmute yourself. Are you not muted? Let's see. Yeah, it says you're muted.
Oh,
There you go.
sorry, I was just finishing a call.
There you go.
I mean, a text. I had to get my 5.
Okay. There you go.
So is this a good time for me to ask about because we were doing, what do you call them? Talking about prospects and stuff before and connecting with them and events.
Yeah,
So
we
is
can.
this
We can. We'll go ahead and do that. We have one more. We're gonna do follow up here in just a minute. But go ahead. Yeah, you can ask it. Go ahead.
Okay, this is for Mexico. So I was wondering the best way to connect people in Mexico to something like what we're doing with Dr. Phillips on the 13th.
Well, I mean, I guess the first thing is it's in English only. So if you're trying to connect people in Mexico, that the language barrier could be a problem.
Right. Well, what I meant, is there something like that same thing in Mexico?
I don't know. I mean, there's not the identical same thing because what we've been showing you is being run by the U.S. sales team. I don't know. Guy was making some phone calls. Guy, do you know the answer to that?
Yeah, so Laura Morales is the person that you need to talk to. She's in charge of Mexico plus the Hispanic group. And she does, if you want to be, there's a Voxer for Hispanic as well, where she put flyers, just like what Kurt was talking about earlier on other flyers and other location. So there's a Voxer Hispanic only.
Yeah.
Now, to be honest, 90% of it would be in Spanish. So sometimes people say, yeah, but I can't understand sometimes on the Voxer. Well, it is for Hispanic people. But these, even if you don't understand, no big deal. If you see the flyer, then you see the flyer that she does both in Mexico or in America, but in Spanish. And then you will see the speakers. But to Kurt's point, you're never going to have, let's say, for example, Dr. David Phillips.
He doesn't speak Spanish. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. But we do have some Spanish speaking, if I may say, leaders and doctors. We don't have a ton, but we do have a couple. So those people are speaking, and that's what you can invite to.
If you'll message me, Lisa, I can put you in that group that Guy mentioned. I'm in that chat group. And you know, don't hesitate once you get in that group. And like Guy said, Laura Morales is in there. And if she posts something, don't hesitate just to respond back to her directly and ask her a question. She's very generous, and she'll, you know, even if what you want's not exactly there, she'd even do a call for you, honestly. So,
wow. Okay, cool.
Yep. She's very generous with her time. All right, let's do one more to finish up our hour. We got 7 minutes left. And I want you to, this is kind of tying a bow on everything, okay? What I want you to do is I want you to think about right now. Let's go back. Let's do 2 weeks, okay? Who have you talked to? Who have you connected with? Who have you had conversations with in the last 2 weeks that you've neglected to follow up with? I know there's some, because I know are opportunities missed. Did you kind of start a conversation with the guy when you were getting your tires rotated, but somebody else walked up, you didn't finish, and you need to go back and talk to him? I mean, I could name 4 or 5 right now. Somebody I talked to on the phone. I said, when I see you next time, I'll hand you a sample. I talked to my pastor, and he's already on Juice Plus. He wants to try the super biome. There's someone else that we were at dinner last night that we saw that lives in a neighborhood near us, and they're pregnant and they got a new baby and they're interested, but I got to follow up. I haven't done it yet. So I want you to, this is really important, because we all sling more mud than we follow up with. And if you don't have some kind of system or reminder, I would do this when you plan your next week, to look back and say, okay, what that happened last week have I not followed up on yet, and make sure you go back and do it. Okay. So we're going to take the next 7. What I want you to do is I want you to go back and make a list of everything you need to follow up on that's maybe you've forgotten or neglected to put on your to-do list. What are opportunities that you had, conversations you had, places you were, people you saw in the last 2 weeks that you need to follow up with? Who on your list? Get that list back out that we started with, and who on there, like Deanna Christopherson says, she says, this business is like playing chess. You share your story, you share information with somebody, a prospect, and then it's their move to watch the video, and it's your move to call them back. It's your move to get them a sample. It's your move to find out if their kids like the gummies. Whatever, you're playing chess. My move, your move. Who on your list are you the one that needs to make the next move? Okay, 7 minutes. Let's go. And I'm going to make this 5 minutes so we can end on time, okay? Just about a minute, a little over a minute left to finish up. Just making sure you don't leave any stuff that you haven't followed up with just hanging out there. I remember one of the first quotes that I locked into my brain in this business was, you can talk to as many people, you can sling as much mud as you want to, but here's the quote: the fortune is in the follow-up. And there's no doubt that the fortune's in the follow-up. Oh, there's Jeff Roberti calling me. I'll have to call him back. Okay, all right, Jeff called and interrupted my timer there. So let's go on to just finish up here. There's a couple things I want to share with you. this turned out really good. This podcast episode. If you want to if you've got a dentist or a hygienist or whatever that oral surgeon, but he's talking about how important the gut microbiome is to the oral microbiome and how they're connected, and what they're finding out just as dentists, that, kind of like the knee bone's connected to the hip bone, connected to the butt bone, connected to the backbone, it's all connected. Mouth, esophagus, stomach, intestines, that gut microbiome. This was really good. It's on our website. It's also you can scan that code if you want to. It's also on the Spotify and Apple podcast. And then I just did one that turned out amazing with Alexis Busselman. She's a busy mom of 5, cancer survivor. It's a great podcast that just came out too. It was good. The Power Hour that we just did will be on the website recorded, but there's one there that's just a simple, just if you want to go to the website, makealife.com/power hour, and you just want focus. You want to sit down for an hour and have just something and walk you through it. It's a video, and it changes every 7 minutes to do a next step. It's there for you. And I'm here to help you if you need anything. This is so important. This business, and I want to help you guys. But I want us to take a minute. If you need to go, the hour's up. Go. But I promise on these live calls that I will leave a minute for interaction here at the end. So does anybody want to ask a question? If you're on Zoom, you can't do it from Facebook, but if you're on Zoom, does anybody want to ask a question before we wrap it up for the day? Our hour's up. Thanks for being here, Guy and Maria and Lauren, and I appreciate Katrina jumping in there and sharing for a minute. But anybody want to ask a question? All right. Be blessed. Be grateful. And I think that attitude of gratitude will just bless all the relationships in your life. So thanks for being here. I'm headed off to the Paget boot camp. Y'all have a great weekend. See ya.
Hey, Kurt,
Yes.
before you hang that up, can I ask one question?
Yes, ma'am.
When you and Lori set up your own events, like personal events, say sourdough or whatever, let's just use that. I'm struggling to get people to come. It's like no one can come. And so I do live in Maine, but that's not a good excuse. So what I want to know is, I just put out, who's interested in doing like a cookie exchange? And I said, or would you like to do a sourdough workshop? Do you just try to find some people and then set the date, or?
No, I think what you do is I think you have to set a date based on your schedule.
Yeah, I do that. Okay.
And then I think you have to target some specific people that you want to be there. Would you help me? Like what I know that we've done in the past is we ask people to come and say, hey, I'm getting everybody to bring one ingredient. Would you bring this? Or would you mind bringing the paper cups? Or would you grab one thing? We're just getting everybody to chip in for the party, or, for the sourdough event, or for the wine and wellness, or whatever you're doing. And when you get people that feel like they're a part of the event and they're contributing or bringing something that if they're not there, it's going to be, they're creating a void. That helps get people to show up. But I think you have to give them a reason. They have to want to come. They don't have, it's not like they're not going to come because you want them to come. You have to make them want to come. So you're not just hosting a sourdough event. It's like, has your family ever experienced what it's like to eat hot bread out of the oven that's good for your gut and your microbiome? I mean, if you've never tried it, I want you to come. I'm going to show you how to make it, but I'm going to let you eat some. It's going to blow your mind. So come with your taste buds ready. There's nothing better than hot bread out of the oven, or whatever you want to tell them, So you have to get good at, no matter what it is. I mean, if it's Guy trying to get somebody to come here, Dr. Phillips in California, while he still lives in California, or Wendy's coming to Guy's town. I know Guy's moving close to me. I'm excited. He's finally moving to the right coast, but instead of the left coast. But anyway, whole nother story. But if Guy's trying to get somebody to come to Wendy's event, he didn't just schedule the event and say, hey, I'm having an event, I want you to come. No, I mean, I don't know, Guy could speak up too, but what I would do is I'm going to get people to want to meet Wendy, not to come here, not to come to a party or not to come to a sourdough event or not to come hear about nutrition. I'm going to get people to want to meet Wendy because she's amazing and she's impacted my life. Guy could say she's impacted his life. She's the reason he's in this business today, whatever he wants to say. And I'll usually say something like this. And I'll make it a true statement. I'll say, I'm going to tell Wendy you're coming and she's going to be excited to meet you. So make sure while we're there, we get together so that I can introduce you to Wendy and she gets to meet you because she'll be blessed by meeting you too. So you personalize the invitation. Okay. You give them a reason to come. I mean, meetings are a dime a dozen. Nobody wants to go to a meeting. Nobody wants to go to a cooking class. I mean, maybe some people do. Nobody wants to go, but people want to go because there's something in it for them.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I mean, so selfishly make them feel like they're coming for something that's going to benefit them. And be specific.
Always make it if I may say quickly, always make it personal, make it fun. That's another key thing. Mm-hmm. And like Kurt's saying, make about the speaker or the event, whatever, but not, people nowadays coming to a health event really or anything, they got, they have better things to do. That's in the head, is wrong. But if you make it fun, if you build the speaker, like this is a Rolling Stone coming for the last time, you gonna miss it or what? Then people, and connected to why also the needs. That's the problem. We don't ask enough questions to our prospect. The more I ask questions to Kurt, the more I understand that his need, his urge, his hurt, is want. And then I can hit on that. Hey, Kurt, Wendy is really going to connect on that he was telling me in the past months or years that I follow up with him. And then now I'm kind of handcuffing him. It's like, you're not going to make it. Wait a minute. I thought you told me this is bugging you. I have an expert coming in our town. And then after that, we can go grab a glass of wine or something. So again, the fun, then that's how, if I may use the word, you handcuff people. Because if they say, okay, excuse, then finally you guys say, all right, next.
Well, you know what? And just if I had time, and Guy could have done this too, but we looked at those flyers. And let's say let's use Dr. Tamara Sachs, or let's say Guy's doing an event. There's a men's call. Guy and I are going to do a men's call on December the 3rd. Okay. So let's just pick that as an example. Well, you see that flyer, and the person that sees that flyer, they don't know a lot about Kurt. They don't know a lot about Guy, but you think it could be a good event. The first thing I'm going to do before I invite somebody is I'm going to call and find out something about Guy, something about Kurt, so that when I call that person, I can tell them about the speaker. I'm not just inviting them to something I'm looking at on a piece of paper. So part of what you need to do in learning to invite is what we've been talking about, but you may need to do some homework. If you don't know Guy, or you don't know Kurt, or you don't know Wendy, or you don't know David Phillips, that means you don't know enough information to get somebody to want to come. Maybe you don't know enough about sourdough to tell somebody how amazing it is. Maybe you're just inviting them to a sourdough event and you haven't been able to tell them what they're missing out on if they don't know how to make sourdough, how exciting it's going to be for their family or whatever. So it's got to be, people are motivated by what's in it for me. And that's what you got to sell them,
Great point. Thank you.
Yep. All right. Anybody else? We'll wrap it up. One more if you want. And one more question if anybody's got one, and we're done. All right. Be blessed. Have an amazing day. And maybe I'll see some of you at the Paget's. Bye-bye. See ya.